We do, I think, suffer to a certain extent due to the space that we're in, the nature of the company. Like, we're not very sexy in terms of, we're not like a B2B AI SaaS play. We kind of exist in a funny space. So it's definitely kind of it's been a very interesting exercise in positioning and sort of coming to understand. I think we've had to get a really good grasp on what the investment style, what the portfolio of the investors that we're approaching are, because we're in one of those spaces where a lot of people just don't invest in it outright. So that's been a really interesting strategic exercise. I definitely think, in terms of talking about a tipping point, I think we've reached that for this round. I think the next 100 is going to come.
Right. I think, that would be my feedback too, is that it's entertainment tech isn't really very sexy in Australia. Nobody can really point to very many unicorns in that space. I would say that there is one that started in Australia and might be a good case study to use in pitches to investors who are reluctant about this space, and that would be Rocked. If you've ever bought a ticket from Ticketek or Ticketmaster to go and see a show or a festival, at the end of the checkout process, there's something that says, "Hey, congratulations, you've qualified for a discount on this and 2 free of that," and leads you through like 4 or 5 different offers at the end of the transaction. That's an Aussie startup called ROKT, Rocked. It started right here in Surrey Hills, I think, originally. And so there are definitely opportunities to make good B2B enterprise SaaS money out of the entertainment industry. I would lean in that area when I'm describing what the business does and what it's for. I would maybe we started with helping attendees get to cool venues during a festival or an event. And now we are migrating towards becoming a data analysis enterprise SaaS. We're big data for entertainment industry promoters and organizers, tourism bodies, government departments. It's a big data play. The more festivals we serve, the more organizations we serve around the world, the more data we're going to be able to capture, and then we'll be able to tell a future South by organizer not just how your event just did, but here's how it compared to previous years of your event, but also here's 4 or 5 other events from around the world that are a lot like yours, and this is how your event differed to how theirs went. Maybe you can take that forward and use that in your applying for future grants or in your commercialization strategy for your next year's event.
Yeah,
I think the beauty of big data enterprise SaaS is that it's something you can credibly sign organizations up for a multi-year annual contract. And you can say, we're going to be your data provider for everything, starting with your venues, but then moving on to everything else that we can capture. We might be able to get tourism arrivals and night stays in accommodation start tracking the whole impact of South by on the state of New South Wales. So we're starting from here, we've already moved on to here, and the future is we want to do this and this and this and this. And therefore, you should be signing up for us for a 3-year annual contract, with an option to renew.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's fantastic advice.